It's fourth quarter 2023. Time to talk about finishing the year strong and getting a great start to 2024. Your best year ever.
That's right. Let's talk about it today on the Wandering But Not Lost podcast.
You've reached the WB&L Wandering But Not Lost podcast, where real estate and reality meet. And now your hosts, Jan O'Brien and Matt Emerson.
Well, welcome everyone to the WB&L Wandering But Not Lost podcast, where real estate and reality meet. This is episode 260. You can find all of those show notes over at WBNLpodcast.com. Jan O'Brien, we are into the final quarter of the year. What the hell? How did that happen?
I can't believe it. I can't believe we're at episode 260.
Well, that too. That also was also amazing. Yeah, crazy.
Pretty awesome. I love this time of the year. It is so wonderful temperatures right now. I don't know if we're going to get any more heat here in Las Vegas, but it's very, very nice. Absolutely no excuse to get up and get out and take a walk.
That is for sure. Well, we are having a little heat wave here in California. It's 95 during the day, which, I know is practically freezing in Las Vegas, terms, but it has been a little bit warm here. So walking in the morning, walking after the sun goes down, all good. Middle of the day, still not so much.
Yeah, man, 70 degrees. It's like 70 degrees here in the morning. So it gets up and a little bit hotter, but it's just been gorgeous. Beautiful to get outside.
I love it. It's awesome.
So we're going to talk about how do you finish the year strong. We do this every year, and let's dive in and talk about how to finish the year strong. And of course, we have to know where we've already been before we can talk about what should we do to finish up the year strong. So now's a perfect time to start taking a look at your numbers. Now, you're going to do this in business planning, and this is very, actually today we're talking a little bit about finishing the year strong, which is going to get you to start thinking about
That's right.
what are your goals and what are you going to do for 2024 and what is your business plan for 2024. But right now, I love in the fourth quarter stopping and looking, and I just did this as a matter of fact today because we keep a record, right?
Wow.
Every time we have a closing, we can track our numbers. I know what our numbers are. I know where we're at. We are on track. I don't know if we're going to hit. We had set a goal of 36 transactions for Cosmo and I. We're at 30 with 4 to close, which will get us to 30 or 31. And everything we're going to talk about here, it's still possible to hit that, but we pretty much have to put some more deals in escrow in the next 30 days to hit that goal. But so we know the numbers. So what is the total closed sales? Did you have listings, more buyers? What's your sales volume? Like I like to track units, but whatever you like to track, is it volume? Is it gross commission? Obviously we're tracking commission too, but gross commission income less your expenses is going to be your net income. And then most importantly, your sources of business. So those are all metrics that we track, and we know where we're at and we know what we need to do, which is what we're going to talk about here to finish strong and maybe hit that ultimate goal that we had. And now we're getting ourselves ready to set new goals for the new year.
And if you did the business planning with us in the years in the past, you would already have this information because you'd be filling it out as you go along throughout the year. So there you go.
It's real exciting. So we're at 50 transactions with our team, and 30 of them Cosmo and I did.
That's freaking awesome. I remember back in the beginning of the year when it was
best year ever.
We're going to do 9 and 90, and then it was
we did
15 and 90, and then
we're still working on 11. We had the last part of that was to get 11 in 11 weeks, so just one a week, and we're not far from hitting that. So,
but it just shows you the power of actually putting that out there, right? And making and having it written down somewhere or talking about it all the time. It's a very powerful tool, and it does motivate you to get it done.
And I have to tell you, there is some power, and I got these little, as I sit here and record this in my eyesight, passed from my computer, I put 2 small whiteboards up where I track our pending escrows, so I can just have that in front of me. And that's where I would write, 9 and 90 days or what the goals are. And I see it all the time. And there is some power in that, putting those key goals in front of you, whether you have it on your phone or you're seeing it all the time, and you're setting your focus on that, and you're setting your intention, and then you get out there and do the things that we're talking about today. And it's amazing how things start to line up.
Now, let me just add to that before you jump in this next part. You also have to have realistic goals to be set
true.
place. I remember when Jan and I first started the company, WB&L Coaching, back in 2000.
I know what you're going to say.
We were a little bit overly excited about what we were going to do. And we had, back at that time, we had a subscription service where people paid a monthly fee to jump in. And it was like, October, and we're like, we're going to get 10,000 by January.
We're going to make $1 million.
10,000. Okay, so perhaps we didn't make that. And you know what? We could have gone crazy, wild, and been hit the ball out of the park day one, and we probably wouldn't hit 10,000 in a month and a half. So there you are.
But there's power. We were excited. We built a spreadsheet, and so where this all comes is we set those. You set those goals, but then you have to have a realistic, to your point, action plan that's within your budget, within what you're going to be able to do to make it happen. Right?
Exactly.
So underestimated the what it takes to convert. In our coaching stuff, honestly, is that like in any business, it's a little different in real estate because I think. It's kind of real estate is such a unique business. You're joining a company for the most part. You could be your own team or brokerage and have some more risk and responsibility. But however you decide to do it, if you go out and do certain things consistently, you will generate business. Now, we could apply that to doing WBNL coaching, but we would have to do what we're talking about today all the time. Find the best way to generate leads and do it every single day. Otherwise, you're just not going to do it. And you can't do a lot of different things. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I think I've learned over the years that I can't be dabbling in 3 different things and put all my energy, 3 different businesses or different ways to generate business. You got to make your decisions and go for it. So this start, stop, continue is a very, very easy way to look at 3 things. And the 3 things are, you look at your business, so you just crunch your numbers. Now you're going to look at what have you been doing for your business? And so there's 3 things. Is there something that you know that you needed to be doing that you haven't done?
Right.
Have you procrastinated about something? So that's what are you going to commit to start? And if you commit to start it right now in October, as we record this 2023, then you're going to build that energy and that habit over the next 90 days or a little less than 90 days so that it becomes a habit. It comes into your subconscious mind that you just get up every day and this is what you do. And I'm going to tell you what the start is for most people. And it's doing something consistently to generate leads, right? It could be something else, but I guarantee you for most of us, it's what are you going to start doing consistently? It might be you need to get up every day and do your daily discipline of doing a morning routine, which is going to get you in the right mindset to have more energy to then go put more into all the things that you have to do in a given day. Whatever it is, what have you not been doing that if you did it consistently every day or at least 5 days a week, it would move your business forward? What is it that you haven't been doing? Are you committed to starting it? The opposite of that is where are you wasting time? What are you doing every single day that you're sitting there and you're like, I should stop doing this, or this is wasting time, or this activity is not generating a business for me? That's something that you need to stop and cut out. And then hopefully you're doing something right now that's working for you. So are you going to continue that, or is there a way that you could tweak it a little bit to make it even better? So that's start, stop, continue in a nutshell. So 4th quarter focus and discipline. So as we know, what you do in the 4th quarter, a majority of the effort you put in to work with clients right now, unless you put them in escrow in the next couple weeks to 3 weeks as we record this, more than likely those would close potentially in 2023. But as we move into the final 2 months of the year, a lot of those are going to roll over to 2024, which is awesome. Because if you don't do this, and this is what a lot of people do, which is the benefit of staying focused through the 4th quarter, of course, is there's less competition for agents.
Yeah.
Many people are just chilling out and going to take a break, and I'm happy with where my year was. But the problem with that is they wait till January, and now they have to ramp up for 30 to 60 days to get, and then they won't have any closings till 2nd quarter or the end of 1st quarter. So what you do now is going to help you get a great start to 2024. So take a break, but don't take 3 months off.
That's exactly.
That's basically it, right?
Yeah, you can slow down a tad, but don't stop. That doesn't work.
Exactly. And I love that. We already have a deal that's going to close we already have one for the board for 2024.
Yeah. See, that's awesome.
Right. So now this is everything. Do the daily. Do the daily. Can we get some merch, Matt, on Do the Daily?
Absolutely.
Do the daily disciplines.
Done.
Do the daily. I want to go walk around with a shirt all day that says "Do the Daily," and that'll get people starting to talk to you a little bit. I love it.
I'm sure.
Do the daily. Are you doing the daily? And this is the daily. I have talked about it for years, and I literally have it right here on my little sticky note I see every single day. And honestly, I have to rewrite it because it's so interesting, Matt. Oh my God. So it's on here. You know what's not on my daily morning routine? It's not on here. I'm taking that down right now and rewriting it. What?
I didn't have to guess on that. I just knew intuitively that was not on there.
Why do I not have that on there? And I have been so procrastinating about this, and I've done everything. I've got my sisters. We're all in a group text. We're using this app called Map My Walk, which is super cool. What a great app that is, by the way. The Map My Walk. You can invite friends. There's lots of apps like that. But what happens is my sisters and I are all on this. And I get motivated because it'll be Marion just completed a 2-mile walk. And then I get the notification. I go into the app and it gives you the map, the route that they took. And you can put notes in there and whatever. And so then you can send, you can like it and you can send comments and motivate each other. So of course that is helping me.
Apple Watch does that too.
Yep. So there's so much of it, right? It's the group doing it together is the part I needed. But this is it. Number one. You need a morning routine. And the morning routine is literally taking care of yourself first and not doing what Jan continues to do is roll out of bed, get the phone and start looking at social media, start looking at what emails came in, what do I need to do today, then getting myself ready, having some coffee, getting myself ready for the day, and missing the part about mindset for me would be doing some I have been doing a little bit of the meditation and watching some things. So that part's helped me. I'm just not getting up and getting out and going over to my little gym or taking a walk. So
that's my God. Did you just say you pick up your device? We have been talking about not doing that for years.
But I still do it. It's a bad habit, and I'm working on breaking that.
I'm going to have to start being your
number one
accountability partner.
Yes, and honestly, I'm rewriting this as soon as we finish our podcast today because I can't even believe it. I can't believe it, but it's so gapingly missing.
Wow.
Like I have been avoiding it. I don't even have it on my list.
I'm shocked.
Boy. All right. Then, most important, number 2 after that is what do you do on a daily basis to generate new leads, new business? And it has to be 1 to 2 hours. This has to be the first 2 priorities. I'm recommitting to my number 1 priority, and Matt is holding me accountable to my morning routine. Thank you. Thank you, Matt. You have permission to kick me in the butt, send me a text, and go report. What did you do today, Jan O'Brien? Okay. Will you do that for me? Will you get me going?
I'm going to write you a personal note as soon as this podcast is over.
Thank you. I am going to do it. In fact, you said something about we finish this podcast. I'm going to go take a walk. Let's do it.
I know.
Right. I'm going to do it too. Damn it. I'm doing it.
All right.
All right. Morning routine and lead gen. You got to do something to lead gen every single day. Now, what is that? Well, that is the key. We're going to talk a little bit about that, narrowing your focus in a moment. I'll come back to this. Okay. For us, if you've been listening to our podcast for Cause One Eye, it is 100% content creation, video content creation. We know when we consistently do that, we get leads, period, end of story. Okay. For you, it's going to be whatever you want to do and that you like to do. Give you some more ideas in a moment. Number 3 on the daily disciplines is your top clients, your active leads, your hot leads. Do you need to make appointments? Do you need to follow up with anybody that you're working with right now? Not an escrow. These are people who, that are coming next week or whatever to go show houses to, so it's your active clients, preparation, confirmation. Then it's escrow status. This is what Cosmo and I will jump on a Zoom and we go through this list. Where are we at with escrows? Have we missed anything? Do we need to follow up? Do we need paperwork? That can take a good 30 minutes a day, if not longer, handling all the things that you need to do. Now, when you get busier, these are the things that you can delegate, but you still have to talk to that. So if we get a transaction coordinator next year, we'll still have to check in to see where are we with our escrows. And a better use of our time would be to have a TC handling all the busy work. So we have more time for clients and content creation. But right now we're doing it, but it still has to be on your list. What's going on with your escrows? But because you might have to go to a signing appointment or whatever. These are the flow. And then the final one, number 5, is what other leads do you need to follow up with? So if you're doing something in 2 for lead generation, it should be generating leads that aren't ready to buy or sell right now. They go into your CRM, and then you have a game plan every day of who you need to follow up with today. So you have it. we have it. We're behind on this because we've been busy with the other things, but I just reorganized all of our data and we're about ready to jump back in now as we go through the final. And this is a great tip for everyone, is to get organized with all of this in your CRM, update it, and go through all your leads, go through all your database and make a connection between now and the end of the year. And just see, are they still a lead? Are they still waiting till next year? What's going on with the people in your database? So number 5 is lead follow-up. That's the daily.
Every time I hear CRM now, I think of Tammy Harrison and her husband who built her CRM, and
I love it.
What incredible, follow-up she does with her CRM. If you didn't watch that interview with Tammy Harrison, go back. It's episode 258. She was fantastic.
She really was. She's very organized and very detail-oriented.
Right.
And follow systems. That's what helps her with her business. So do the daily. That's it, guys. So what else can you do? Our advice is this. Do that daily, is keeping it simple. I didn't say it was easy.
Right.
I shared you with my struggles. You're going to have struggles in there somewhere. It's kind of easy to do the escrow follow-up and the admin and all the other stuff that you need to do, or maybe even schedule appointments and go show houses if you have clients. But where people fail clearly is the morning routine. Not all people.
Clearly,
and lead generation.
Yes, and just everyone remember the word simple and easy, not synonymous.
Right.
So there you are.
But keeping it simple is you don't need a huge million things to do.
Right.
So these three simple tenets, these strategies are going to help you keep it simple. So get clarity. How do you get super clear about what your goals, your vision, your mission, who are you, who's your perfect client? And then you're going to be able to, that's going to help you create the action plan. So this goes without saying, you have to focus on what your goals are. You have to write that down. And I mean, it could be as simple as, we're going to help 36 families, people do transactions this year, or buy or sell a home this year. It could be as easy as that. That's the goal. And then everything flows from that. I think that, in the beginning of doing all this coaching and all the years of training, I think I made it too complicated, Matt. Like, I do believe, I like the Brian Buffini, 5 circles. Well, I like the idea of at least have one primary goal in each of those areas. So we're talking about personally, Jan does the daily morning routine. That's my goal. There it is. Boom.
Definitely a theme.
That's all I have to do. Go do that morning routine. I know what my morning routine consists of. I keep it interesting. It could be a mixture of things, but doing it every day would completely enhance everything in my life. Me personally, how I feel physically, mentally, and then that impacts my energy level to do everything else in my day, right? So you have personal, you have financial. Financial goals are pretty straightforward, which is maybe saving, putting money towards retirement. Business goals are how many transactions are you going to do? Or do you like to do it by units, people served? Do you want to do it volume? Okay, just keep a goal with that. So you have a goal for how much money you want to make this next year. And then from that will be the things that you're going to do, which we'll talk about next, right? And then what else? So you have personal, family, what your relationships, right? Was there something you're going to do there? Financial, business, and spiritual, right? So it's like, what does that mean for you? That could be, whatever that means to you. It could be reading something. It could be reconnecting, meditating, whatever, connecting to your source, whatever that means to you for spirituality.
And really the point of that is not only to have clarity and focus on those areas, but to actually schedule time to actually do that, right? That's the schedule. The time point of this is so important. That you can have all these goals, but if you don't actually schedule time, there's no point having the goals.
But keep it simple and have it out there. Have them written down as affirmations, have them in front of you as we just talked about, and then everything gets you motivated to get up every day. They have to mean something to you. Each of those, if you're going to do it in the 5 areas of your life, then have them have meaning to you. You need to be passionate about it. And so the next one is to narrow your focus. And what we mean by this is, don't try to do everything. Don't be the jack of all trades, master of none, right? So narrowing your focus is really here. We all, in all businesses, and particularly in our business of real estate, we all have our database. Let's just call it that, database. Some people call it sphere of influence, past clients. I group all of that together. So you have the people that know you. My definition of database is always, if you pick up the phone or you text, they know who you are. Okay. We all want to get more business from that group of people. So you have to have something for that. All right. You have to have a way that you're staying in touch, and the easiest and simplistic, not always easy way to do this is to do a monthly newsletter. Should go to everybody that you know. Do a monthly newsletter and make 3 to 4 contacts a year with the people in your database. You could have other things that you do, items of value. You could be sending holiday cards. You could be doing various touches throughout the year. Whatever that's going to be, I recommend automating what you can. And then what you can't automate, but you can use the CRM to remind you, is when should I call people that we've done business with or that are in our database, just to check in with them. And the easiest times to do that is if they're past clients, when did they buy a home from you on their anniversary? If you have their birthdays, calling them on their birthdays, around holidays. You make it easy, okay? So you all have that, but narrowing your focus is beyond that. What you're going to do for your database is, what are you doing to generate leads? What is the other thing you're going to do? If you stay in touch with your database, you're going to get referrals. Mm-hmm. Awesome. But you can't live on that alone. Most people can't. All right. I mean, maybe some people do. But if you're not getting here's our challenge this year. You might have 100 people in your database and none of them want to sell their home. They don't want to sell their home because the interest rates are too high.
Right.
So you have to get creative and find other ways. And when we say narrow your focus, I'm not saying go out and do 10 things. I'm saying choose one thing that you're really good at. You could add, one area. For me, content creation, right? Mm-hmm. It could be as easy as I love doing open houses. I can be open for business. I can get busy work done. And I'm going to do an open house every day, 5 days a week. I believe that if you did an open house 5 days a week times 4, that's 20 open houses, you would have a ton of business.
No doubt.
The reality is you don't. So that wouldn't cost you anything but your time. It could cost you money if you were going to run ads or you were going to do anything else around it or do mailers. But if you just had signs and a vehicle and a place to hold an open house, and you did that 5 days a week, I guarantee you would run into people and you would get all your work done. You go to work for 4 hours a day at an open house. I mean, honestly, Matt, okay, I'll even give you 3 days a week. That's 15 open houses a month. The average person doesn't do any, but a lot of agents that are new will do 1 or 2 a month and wonder why they don't work. That's saying...
Do you know anyone, Jan, that's actually done that many? I mean, really set up.
I don't know anybody personally. I know from listening to other people talk about that's what they've done and that's how they do their business.
Because let me tell you something. I almost would guarantee you that you would pick up more sellers than buyers with that strategy. Because the sellers on that street or around that neighborhood would be like, "What is this guy or what's this girl doing?" I really think that you would get inquiries from sellers in that neighborhood.
And I agree. But why don't they do it? People don't like to do open houses. So They already have a mindset that says, I don't like to put the signs up, then nobody comes in. I'm just saying, then it's not for you. If you're not like thinking, wow, I don't even have to spend any money. I'm cool with putting the signs up. I'm going to talk to people. I brought all my personal notes and my laptop, and I'm going to make all my follow-up in the next 3 hours. If nobody shows up, I will have gone to work for 3 hours and gotten all my follow-up done.
You could have done your daily.
Right?
Exactly.
You could do your daily, parts of your daily at your open house where you're open for business. I'm just saying this is the easiest way to do it. You're going to say, well, there's not enough open house. Yes, there are. Plenty. There are listings. We have low inventory. We have homes sitting on the market. You can find some open houses to sit. You really can if you try. Okay.
And your market.
So that to me is the easiest, cheapest way to do it, and you will have business.
Jan O'Brien, you need to find a team member on your team, or recruit someone to your team that we can put this to test. Because I would love to know if someone actually did this, what the results would be.
And here's the thing: everything takes work.
Right.
To do content creation the right way, it's 2 to 3 hours a day of going out, videotaping. And before we came on today, I was editing a new video for one of our team members. He's got a new listing, and we do a unique reasons to live in this area. And it's going to take me another 20, 30 minutes of editing and to get that really good video up. But it's going to be worth it because it's the consistency of that. So that if I was going to call expireds or FSBOs because I'm really good at it, I would have to do it every day, 5 days a week. You have to find the thing that you're good at, that you like to do, and then you have to do it. I love doing the videos, but sometimes it does become a chore.
Right.
And that's where you really start to show up, is like, are you going to get up and do it today? Or are you not? And then if you don't do it day after day after day and you stay busy, then all of a sudden you realize you don't have any business. So narrowing your focus is a couple things. Do the thing that you like to do, that you are passionate about. It could be networking. It could be, there's endless things, but you have to do it consistently. People are like, oh, I'm listening to Jan and I'm just going to go do videos or do social media. Then go for it. But you have to do it every day, a couple times a day. And if you don't do that, just think about it, Matt. When Instagram and all that stuff first came out, everybody was like, I was like that. Woohoo, let's go do this. This is fun because I like this kind of stuff. Did I post every single day? No. That's why it didn't work for me.
Yep.
Only now in the last year and a half have I discovered that this really works because I like it. I have someone else doing it with me. There's reasons why it's working. We worked hard at figuring out what our niches were on it.
It's not just posting every day. There's a lot.
And we built an audience and we were willing to do it via video, but it's a lot of hard work and the average person's not willing to do it. But it's not just about content. It's like, my point is, insert any activity that generates business.
Sure.
Cold calling. There are people that door knock. If they did it consistently every day, it becomes a habit. And if they're good at it, they get business from it because they're good at it, which means they like it. They get reinforced because of it. I have a client, Sharon. She's great at making calls. When I chat with her, I'm like, how you doing with you? She calls them her geo calls, but it's all her calls. When she consistently does that 3 to 5 days a week, she always has business.
Yep.
But then she gets off and finds other reasons and starts procrastinating like we all do. So you get the point. It's narrow your focus, but it's actually the third thing that is the key to all this. So we've talked about get clarity, narrowing your focus, and then you've got to do the daily. You got to take action. So it's great to have a plan. It's great to have goals. It's great to say, I'm going to focus on Jan and Cosmo are doing content creation. We have a game plan for that. But if we don't actually execute it, it's all for naught. So you got to work your plan. You have to do that daily disciplines. You got to put it on your calendar and you have to keep it simple, but you got to have fun. And if you do that, if you can find the secret of what part of this business that will generate business is for you, then you will start having fun again with it and not make it a chore. It's like it's a mindset thing. If you're like, oh, I have to go out and make calls. No, you don't. I don't make cold calls. I tried all that. We tried Facebook leads. I didn't like it. I hated it. So I didn't do it. And that being said, I like doing content creation, but not every day do I feel as excited about doing it, but I still go do it. And then once I do it, I'm like, oh my God, I love it. I get myself out there. It's a beautiful day. We're out there filming reasons to live in this area. And I'm like, oh my God, I should do this every single day. You see what I'm saying? It starts to reinforce what you do. And then you get results. Then somebody calls you and says, hey, I've been watching your stuff. Can we meet and go buy a house? We're like, okay, let's go do more content. So anyway, that's what will happen if you're calling expireds and you have all this rejection, but it's a numbers game. Those things are it's all a numbers game. We had to do this for a long time before we had enough people following us. And we're still finding people that want to buy, even though the interest rates are 7.5%. We pivoted to where the opportunities were. And out here in Las Vegas, it's with new homes. So now I was telling Matt the other day that I thought, Cosmo, I think I asked you too, how many of our closings do you think were new homes? Because I was crunching our numbers.
Yeah, you did.
And I thought it was higher until I went and counted them, and it was just 55%.
Well,
I had the feeling that we were selling more new homes. But because we're just focusing a lot on new homes, we don't just do new homes, but we put a focus on that. We are attracting people who don't necessarily can afford a new home or they don't want one, and then we find them a resale. So it's interesting. All right. So we just talked about all these things. Farming, that was one I didn't mention yet, right? So content creation, open houses, past client connections, you're always going to be doing that, right? Networking events, if you're a social person and you want to go to more events or where people are in your niche, if you have a particular niche. Niche marketing means maybe you focus on something that you're super passionate about, first-time home buyers. Then there's all these strategies around first-time home buyers. And that's what I mean by narrowing your focus. My niche is going to be working with 55 plus community. Awesome. Now everything I'm going to do around that, I'm going to come up with 8 to 10 strategies of things that I do to get business in the 55 plus niche or high rise or condos or a demographic or a type of home. You get the idea. but you have to be passionate about it. Right now, divorce specialists are powerful. If you know how to do probate, those are the people that have to move. Those are tough niches to do, but those are specialties that if you're into it. I remember meeting an agent who was very, very passionate about being a divorce specialist. She had gone through a divorce, it involved a home, and she was super passionate about helping people divorcing and being there, having compassion for that and being their facilitator and their professional that's going to help them through that process. Right? Mm-hmm. So there you go. Door knocking, farming. What is it? Don't do everything that I just mentioned on this list. That's the whole point of that. Would not be narrowing your focus. Right. That would be widening your focus and therefore not getting anything accomplished. So narrow your focus to past clients, database, and then what you're going to do to generate new business. And the goal is you generate new business and they go into your database. They become a past client eventually, or they become a raving fan that's going to buy someday and they refer to you. That's it. Simple and
to wrap it up, what do you need to remember?
Get clarity. Narrow the focus, but make the focus be about what you are excited about doing every day. Because then you'll get up every day and you'll do it. Even when you're not having such a great day, you'll still be wanting to go do it. But most of the time, you're going to get up and do it every day. And then you take the action daily, which is to do the daily disciplines. There it is. That is it. That's business planning 2024, to be honest. Because when we get into doing that coming up, we'll get into more of those strategies I'm talking about. So when we do a future podcast, we'll remind you of this, and we will literally get into unlocking your potential business. So helping you discover what is that niche for you. And then we'll name several of these and give you 8 to 10 strategies that you can do. All right. That's so right. That'll help you.
Yeah, we have
that
podcast coming up week after next. So episode 162 will be the Unlock Your Business Potential for 2024. Then we have some other great stuff. We've been talking about this for a while now. We have gratitude coming up next month. Our very last Ask 5 mashup for season 2 will be, for season 1 will be coming out right here as we're getting ready to close out the year and close out season 2 of Ask 5, which, by the way, we have some really great interviews coming up for that as well. And then we'll do our annual year in review there at the end of December. You know, Jan O'Brien, we should do like we did a few years there, we should do our favorite Christmas carol, our top jams of the season. We should do that again. That was fun.
Yeah, I like that. The pop culture part of it as well.
Exactly. And then next week, Rich Brodkin is going to be in the WBNL podcast studio.
This is retired Rich Brodkin.
Retired Rich Brodkin, who actually got into real estate, built an incredible team, which we've talked about many, many times on the show. Rich has been on the show before, friend of the show, Rich Brodkin. And he actually sold his business. So we have a actual client and friend that went through the process, did it, and now has retired and is enjoying his retirement off of his real estate business. So it's going to be great to talk to Rich next week. We haven't circled back around with Rich in a while, and it'll be great to hear what he's doing and see how he's enjoying his life after his post real estate life. So that's going to be a lot of good, some good times listen to Rich next week in episode 261. Jan O'Brien, anything else on your mind today?
No, I'm writing out my do the daily right now because I'm really appalled at the fact that I have not noticed that's on there until just
You're doing a little daily note editing today. That's very good. Well,
let me just finish with this. So don't get freaked out. So I just got the notification. The jobs report came out today. Today is October 6th. As we record this, the jobs report came out and it was hugely better than anticipated. Like they thought there'd be 100 and something thousand jobs added, and it was 300 and something, which means great for people that are having jobs, but the Fed doesn't like that news. And I sent this to Cosmo and I said, here comes 8% interest rate. So I just literally got and the market's already made the move, because this means the Fed is saying we're not cooling as fast. Inflation is not cooling. The jobs mean that people are out there spending money and doing things. So we're going to have to keep the interest rates high for a while, which is what we knew, but it's 7.84. 7.84 right now. I guarantee it's going to get to 8%. But here's the thing, real estate professionals, how are you going to deal with that? That's what we'll be talking about in some upcoming podcasts. If you sit there and go, oh, I might as well wait till the interest rates come down, then you might as well get out of business, because you've got to figure out how you're going to help people get into homes if they need to, or sell homes, because there's opportunities still, even with these interest rates. There's still people that are going to buy. It's all about what your attitude and how you would make that adjustment. See, I'm like, okay, 7.84, I already have myself prepared for this. We know what we're going to do. We're going to go start focusing on where the deals are. And are you doing that? That's what I'm going to leave you with. Are you dealing with that, or are you freaking out like your clients going, oh my God, the sky's falling. I'll never sell another house? Because that's going to determine what your business is all about.
Yeah, join us in a couple of weeks, and we'll revisit where the interest rates are when we're in episode 262, because I'm sure it will have already adjusted probably more than once by then over the next 2 weeks. Say, we just launched our real estate sales builder certification course last Monday. So if you have not gone in there and done a little work on that, especially if you're a team leader or if you're a small broker, that program is for you, so go check it out. If you want more information about that program, you can go to our site. We have a form on our site, actually, wbnlcoaching.com/RSB cert. And that will actually be an inquiry form that will get us, you can put your information down and we will actually contact you for a personal consultation. It's not really one size fits all. It can be one size fits all. You can purchase the course today. All that information over there in our courses on wbnlcoaching.com. We worked on that course for a long time. Real proud of the way it came out. So go check it out over there at wbnlcoaching.com. Other than that, that's it. Jan and I have both committed. It's 9:09 right now to get out and go for a walk. So we're going to end this podcast. We're going to go for a walk. Jan and I have an appointment in about 51 minutes. So we have plenty of time to get a walk in there.
Let's go.
Exactly.
I got to get going.
So like us, get up, get out, live the life you've dreamed. This was episode 260. Go to the show notes for all the information and be forever wandering, but not lost.
All right. All right, you ready?
I am.
Okay.
That's right. Learn of it. More eye rolling.
Wait, I got itchies. Okay, I'm back. Jump into it and
let's stop for 2 seconds as I'm trying to get this thing to freaking come up right here. Now, come on, you tab. What are these black lines on it?
You're having some technical issues today, sir.
What the F? There we go.
Finish the year strong.
Now we're back.
All right, I gotta go put my shoes on.